Hey man, you ever looking to flatter?
Your normal spot. There's the water. Right there. Tripod is all the way up, but it's only at about 5 feet. And give it another 6 inches for the water. It's only about 6 inches higher than the water. And then look at this. Back away a little bit. That's Fiddler's Point. Look how high up the water goes over the top. And it would go beyond that too, if it wasn't so much light reflecting off the water out there. Okay, I'm going to repost one of the videos that I did back in January 11th, 2019. And this was shot with the P1000. I think in the video I put in there that it was shot with the P900. That is not correct. It was shot with the P1000. And as you can see, this is Fiddler's Point. Anybody that's been following my channel, Fiddler's Point is approximately 1 mile from my location. And normally at this height, I don't see any water beyond Fiddler's Point a lot of times because it's mirroring. I put this arrow here where it shows where the visible water is. And usually, like I say, boats that are in this area are either invisible, you can't see them, or they're drawn down into that mirroring effect, which pulls things down. There's no doubt in my mind that this occurs. And then what I think is going to happen in this sun video, because I'm going to do another sun, is not only does it get compressed, but it's also getting loomed. And the water line, I believe, is actually even higher than where I pointed that arrow to. And let's see, when I did a video, the time lapse on one of the recent videos I did, I was actually higher, showing the horizon, the virtual horizon line on this point. And later on here, I'll show you what I'm talking about, so you can get an idea that the water is slightly higher than where I pointed out. But it's being masked. It's being hidden, just like the sun gets hidden within this. It gives you the appearance or the illusion that the sun is setting, but it's actually not. And this was actually a better video kind of to show, in a sense, if you compare it to one of my recent videos of the sun setting or appearing to set in the same location. There is a difference to it. This sun appears to be much bigger. Yes, I am zoomed in on it, but after reviewing a bunch of my footage, I noticed certain times of the year the sun does appear to be much bigger in the sky or when it's on the horizon than the rest of the year. And it's usually in the winter months when the sun is setting more to the south. All right, I'm going to speed this video up, but what I want to say is I do put on a ND1000 filter, and with the P1000, you can actually turn the compensation exposure up and down while you're filming. So it does help you out as far as cutting some of the light and being able to see these clouds that are in front of the sun. They are not behind the sun. All right, let me speed this up so we can get to the point. Okay, I also want to say to watch this in its entirety, the full video from this particular day. I've posted it at it's at DMT Matrix Request Observations 2019 111 Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. I didn't get a lot of views on it. And apparently, you know, it's because of our us being censored and us being put away on the back shelf. We're no longer recommended videos. I remember when we could turn on autoplay and put a flat Earth video up and watch flat Earth videos all night long. But now you cannot do that. What comes up is a NASA video or some stupid science video. You know, and some science is not stupid. There is true science out there. The other one to watch, the second part of this, where I'm just going to use some pictures, is Flat Earth in Search of the True Horizon, part 1 through 6. You should watch these two because they are excellent days of visibility. You know, a little distortion areas, but overall, some of the best visibility I've gotten. I do have some days where I've gotten better visibility, but there was also some other things occurring, some effects that happened in them that I am actually reviewing them again and figuring out what is actually going on. The area in between these two arrows, I believe, is the area that actually acts like a blind. It's a ramping up effect, and it's part of that mirroring. And just because it's so far out there doesn't necessarily mean that you can't really see the mirroring as quite as well. But what I think there's half of that spot is mirroring the edge above. So you got maybe some clouds way out there on the horizon that it's mirroring. So maybe that whole thick dark area is not quite the true horizon, but split that, and that's possibly where that true horizon would be. One of the other things is right here I slow it back down to regular speed. I did speed some of this up 4 times the speed, but watch how this sun starts compressing. Again, another good example of a compressing sun, and this compression and the size of the sun is also where that's why I'm calling it a looming sun, because I believe this is looming, and the farther it gets away from us, the more it gets not only compressed but pulled downward. So it's actually looming, and when you have a looming occurring, it is literally pulling things downward. One of my last video that I put out, I said upward refraction. It should have been downward refraction because or upward refraction, because it's actually getting hidden within that refracted light or that looming. But you could also say that some of this is refraction down below. That's actually, I really don't think, I'm not sure if I would call that refraction, but you know, you see these boats out here. Normally I would not even see these boats. And when you watch the original videos that I just mentioned about watching, you can honestly see this stuff in here. This really acts like a blind and doesn't allow you to see the true horizon. Sun is being magnified or loomed. The farther and farther it gets away from us, it looms even more. This is the ramping up effect of water. This is all my opinion. Others may differ from their opinions, but this is what I've come up with through my research, doing observations for approximately 3 years now. And this was a wild-looking sun. And you see here, when I turn down the compensation exposure, you get this, what I'm going to say is a reflection, but it's like the sun is reflecting off the water, but it's kind of being hidden also within that mirroring effect. And that mirroring effect, that ramping up effect, means that it's an atmospheric ramp up, which causes things to, again, give you this illusion of a false horizon, which in turn, I think you split that darker area in two, and that's pretty much where your horizon possibly is. It's really, really hard to find this true horizon. But one of the things I should have done too is I should have put the I should have found the video where I was doing a observation using my cell phone and my camera with the virtual horizon on the Bayport bird rack, showing that the visible water would be above the Bayport bird rack. And that was with a level on it using the virtual horizon. So it obviously shows that the horizon is at eye level. And that's as far as you're going to see it. It's like putting your eye to a table. Even with the surface, all you're going to get is that little sliver. So that little sliver is so far out there, you cannot resolve it. Again, the mirroring effect really affects our vision. It's all about optics, people. And this sun right here, this is all reflection, if you ask me. The sun is beyond this. It's already gone to its vanishing point, and you can no longer see it, but you see the visible light that it's still reflecting off the water, that's being ramped up. So this is a ramp up reflection of the sun. This is not the sun, people. This is just a reflection, like I say. And you watch it, and it come out and almost become a pyramid or a triangle of a sort, the farther that sun gets away. So if you imagine a little dot in the center of this, just getting further and further away of light, and then we get to the point where you can no longer resolve the light because it goes to that vanishing point. Now, the next part of this video is going to show where some of the bird racks are. I recently went out to them and got new GPS readings on them. Friend of mine, he made this little video right here up showing where the racks were from Pine Island. Now, the only one I didn't have on here is the Bayport rack, but we know it's approximately 3.5 miles. Okay, all these were taken from a low perspective. There's Billy Steele's rack at 8.5, boat out there. Here's Bayport entrance rack, 3.5 miles. I should say that all of these were taken from less than 6 foot high. In the original video, I do have my camera height that I do show. And here again, the Bayport rack with a boat beyond the Bayport rack. And you can see water well beyond the Bayport rack. That's why I was saying that I should have found the video where I was using my virtual horizon to show that that water is above, if you go by eye level, is above. Now here's Cutter's Rock at 11.05 miles. I'm using the distances from Bayport, even though I'm at Pine Island, only because I'm not really sure if the measurement was accurate from my friend's video. Here's again, there's a boat out there that's really well beyond. And here's a picture of just a zoomed back shot of where I'm looking. Again, here's another boat way out there, a couple other boats way out there. And again, here's something that, when people talk about eye level and trying to find that true eye level on the horizon, the globe people would say, no, it's below because it's curving. But here, when I do get actual pictures, proof of where this horizon actually is, people just kind of deny it or overlook it, don't even look at it. Now, here's Crystal River Power Plant at 27 miles away. I had my camera real close to the water on a very low setting, 30 inches. Actually, my tripod's at 28, but I figured 2 inches for me being just off the water a little bit. But But again, you can see I enhanced some of these photos. But here's the kicker, is when I get to the very last one, um, I'm at 4 inches. And that you'll see on the Flat Earth in Search of the True Horizon. So really, when I'm at 30 inches, I should not be seeing none of this out here, folks. But because of my day of excellent visibility, I had a guy arguing with me about it, saying that the temperature was allowing for more refraction. But can you imagine how much refraction would have to pull this up, especially right here? This was at 4 inches, and that was enhanced. Here it is again, enhanced. And then the very last picture right here is going to be the original picture. Right here is the original picture. And like I said, I just enhanced it a little bit. All right. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed.